Hello, my little munchkins, my little crones, and my sunflower seeds. How are you on this Monday?
Yes.
On this Monday, Memorial
Labor
ending,
Day.
God darn it, I keep doing it. Labor Day weekend. Well, I hope you had a pleasant Labor Day. I hope you rest. I hope you went to a park, amusement, did something wonderful. As for baby Crone and I think we just nuzzled up. She slept.
Yes, I did.
Poo-pooed around, slept here, slept there. It was just a restful day. Baby Crone have to go. We're just getting off our little hiatus, so it was a good resting day for us.
Yes, it was.
So with that being said, we're going to talk about the Real House of Atlanta.
Yes.
So I thought it was a pretty good episode,
Yeah.
but then they always going to bring it for the
reunion.
The reunion. Before we start, what did you think about the girls? I thought Courtney, is that her name?
Yes,
I
Courtney.
liked her gown best.
Yes, Courtney was the best.
Candy stood out because it was like she didn't follow. That was weird
Yes.
to see that.
I mean, she did have a little bit of blue, like
No,
sitting
she
right here in
looked
her
beautiful.
skirt. Yes, but she did not match
But she
the color.
looked like art
Yes.
lady out.
Yes,
but
she
she did look beautiful. But I'm a Candy fave, so it's like Candy and Kenya. I'm a fave, but I thought they all looked good. I like Kenya.
I did not like Kenya's hair color.
I didn't like her hair. I don't like that color on her at all.
And the color that
this color don't look good on her. Someone tell her.
That is true. She did not look good.
No.
But in my
she
opinion,
looked good with that color eyes, but she doesn't look good with that color hair.
In my opinion, the color teal that they chose, I'm not sure if it's the specific teal everybody was wearing, but it kind of just looked like a bunch of mermaids.
Little mermaid, the little black queens.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so so going on with the first part of the reunion.
Yeah.
We did hear about the tiny elephant in the room, which was the fact that Cherie said that when she was I think she was talking about how she was having trouble breathing. And then when her doctor, while she was getting whatever procedure she was getting done, she was like, just touch up my nose too. And that's why my face looks different. Okay, Cherie.
Oh, she said she had gotten her nose done because she was having trouble breathing. Yeah, that's the story everyone says. But at the end of the day, I just got my nose done. And for my reasons why, it's none of your business.
Yeah, so now we understand why she looks a little different.
She looks way different, in my opinion. Is she like this off topic? Okay. She remind me of Carly Red.
Oh,
is that her name?
Yes.
They got these weird looks, and it's so alien. And you don't know how to, because it's so in your face. They did something that you don't know what to say.
Yes, that is
good
very
or
true.
bad. Right?
Yes, that is true.
Okay, that's all I can say about that.
And happy news for Sonia. She is pregnant. She said at the time of that reunion, she was 4.5 weeks. Sorry, 4.5 months.
I was going to say, no, she was showing she was 4.5.
Yes, and she said that the due date, let's hope that it is the true due date.
She's fine.
Yes, it will be on Christmas is when she's supposed to have the baby.
Congratulations,
yes.
Sonia.
Yes, congratulations, especially after that house
I'm starting
scare.
to warm up to her a little. Oh, a little.
I wonder how Deuce feels knowing that he's going to have a little sibling after having that house
He
scare.
wants it. He wants a baby. They all do. They because she was having trouble conceiving. So
yes.
we wish her nothing but the prayers going up for her. So.
Yes. It was actually surprisingly a lot of things that was covered in this first part of the first part of the reunion. I felt like we covered the entire season's problems in one sitting.
Right.
Because we had Kenya and Sheree. Yes, Sheree. We have Sheree and Kenya going at it.
No, they didn't really go at it. They had a little. They had a come to Jesus moment, and they're fine.
Yes. And it all started because Kenya apparently has no man, according to Cherie, and according to Kenya.
Is her name Cherie or Sheree?
Sheree, sorry. She by Sheree. Gotta remember that.
Okay.
And here
now I'm correcting you because you said, okay, see, it's poison, right?
yes, it is.
All right.
But that's what's so great about their names, because if you don't remember them, just remember their catchy slogans. So Sheree and Montel. Now, I'm not sure how to feel about Sheree and Montel, because I'm not sure if the cast is receiving their relationship well, because I'm not sure what the beef was between her and Kenya about Montel. I mean, it was about the DMs, but
because he hit on her and it wasn't nothing, and Kenya waited till they dating the system, blah blah. This is kind of pick pack catty.
That's how I felt watching it. I was like, I don't even understand what's going on.
This go home. It's just like, so it's just so childish, but. Nevertheless, that's what it's over. And a lot of times this is what it is. It's the pettiness of it all.
Yes.
It's the pettiness. However, I wanna step back a little bit. I admired that Candy said that she just came on. She was dealing with a lot. This was not a good season for her.
Yes, she did admit that.
And that and she just came in ready to fight. Just ready, not ready to fight, but ready to, don't step to me. Unless you about to catch a phase. She came in like that.
Even Andy made a little dig at the very beginning of the reunion saying, Candy, I didn't think you was going to make it to the reunion. and then I think Kenya said, yes, she was able to squeeze us in.
Yeah.
It's a little running joke, but you know.
Right. And then she's busy. And I don't know what they're going to do, but I understand just the sidebar, Kenya fired.
Yeah.
I don't think fired. I don't like that. Let go.
Yeah. There's way too much going on with these housewives, especially with the celebrity takedown and the writer's strike. I just can't. There's too much going on.
Too much going on. Too many distractions.
Yes. Another tit for tat was Scott Lee and Marlo. Well, Marlo talked about how she's enjoying Scott Lee, she's taking it slow, and
she seemed happy.
She does seem happy.
She seems happy.
Yeah, that is true.
And you know what? I'm really, really feeling it, you know? And she seemed happy, and with the classes she taking for anger management,
yes,
and dealing with the guys, she just seemed like so unbothered.
Yep, she is trying to turn over a new leaf.
And I wish her well. If she could keep like that, you know?
Yeah. Now, this is very interesting. I liked what Bravo did, actually. This season, we have been calling Sheree a bone carrier. Sorry, no, a bone collector. And Bravo did a little bone collector montage and had a little ruff, ruff, to show that she was a bone carrier. And then she said that she's just trying to make friends with everybody, and even though she's like being a bone collector.
She's passing that on to, what's her name? Courtney.
Oh, Courtney deserves bone carrier for sure.
Courtney says, does she take it? I think she said she take it. I don't know, but
we're not sure, because you know what?
But she still was taking in curry bones, just not like she used to.
Yes, that is true. But you know what? I like what's very interesting is that they really kept it to the 6 main cast members.
Right.
And they brought on Monyetta and Courtney.
Right.
For like a short period of time, and then they left to show that these were just trial housewives and not like...
They weren't there.
So, I did like that they, because I found it weird that they weren't there at first, but now I understand the flow. We'll see if next season they'll be back.
And I understand Candy has been on this, the longest housewife running ever, and she's been on the show, what she said, for 14, 15 years.
I think so.
I think so. If I'm wrong, I'm close. Something like that. Congratulations to Candy.
Could be
She's
like
very
14.
competitive. She's
very
very competitive. You know, so if she goes, it's like, look, I did what I had to do. I carried it, and I'm proud of her. I think her time is up, though. And I think she know it.
Yes.
She knows it.
It's becoming blatantly clear.
Yeah. And it's not because of anything she did.
Right.
It's her life. She's too busy.
now.
And she's been doing that all her life. It's time for her to branch off and trust herself and do other things. She's got restaurants. She's got so much going on that she could let this show go for a little bit.
That's true. Now, on the topic of Sheree. Sheree. Yes. Sheree.
I like her.
Yeah, and her bone collector self. She went at it a little bit with Candy, saying, because Candy... okay, hold on. This Sheree had it this episode with the different reads. And we feel like Candy was a bit jealous. Because Candy was like, who's helping you with your reads this year? Because first Sheree...
Sheree was reading?
Yes,
Okay.
she came out with a bag at first because Drew kept saying she never received a bag by Sheree. So Sheree was like, here's your bag, but I want Candy to open it. And inside the bag, it was like a director's cut, and it was like, and scene. And she was like, haha, okay. She's like, I see you with your little joke. That was good. Yeah, I liked it. It was kind of cool. I liked her she news.
But
Andy.
did Drew want the bag?
I do believe Drew got the bag, but I think it was like as a joke because since Candy said and scene to Drew, I guess it was funny for Candy to have it. Okay. I guess that was supposed to be some type of dig towards
But
Candy.
I didn't fully understand it. But so what I didn't understand it. But when it was Drew bag and it was for Drew.
Yes.
But when Candy said something, it was like, I got something in here that you would find amusing for you.
Yes.
You know, and it just worked out that way.
Yes, it worked out
And
that way.
Candy laughed or whatever. I got it. I got it, I think.
Yes.
Okay.
And then also...
But it was Drew's stuff.
Yes.
Right.
And so, another thing is that Sheree came for Candy by saying, because Candy was just like, I would have bought your stuff, but whenever I go to your website, there's nothing on there. Even though you say that you sell out and you're selling your clothes, how come I can't never seem to get it? And then Sheree was like, well, your restaurants aren't safe because there's shootings. So they was like coming at each other like...
Here's another Erica Mena. This is how it go. And you all know that's a sore spot for Candy.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's a sore spot when you talk about Cherie's clothing line.
That is very true.
Come on. Even though it's been 10 years or how long, it's been forever. But nevertheless, she still have it. It takes money and it takes time.
Yes,
and whatever. She's doing
Sheree's been
it.
out there for 14 years
Right.
selling her She by Sheree.
Right.
So, another thing is that this is very interesting because this kind of went on to a little tit for tat with Candy and Drew.
Okay.
Is that Candy believed at first, before meeting Allison and hearing her story, was that Allison's mental illness was just something that Drew would make up and lie about because Drew
is
lies.
known to be a liar. And the whole cast members seem to be in
Yes.
agreement with that. Mm-hmm. That speaks a lot when you're a liar.
Yes.
You know, my mama said, you lie, you steal. You lie, you steal. Whatever, you'll steal time. You'll steal anything. Not only stealing, you could steal anything.
Yeah.
You could steal time. You could steal if you lie, you steal. And they call her a liar. And that's,
And then Drew's gonna sit there
And that's
with
one
her
of the-
lying self like, I've never lied before except my weight.
And that's it. And that's one of the signs of a devil. Lying. 'Cause I didn't know what to feel about it. I really didn't. But when when all the cast members, even Sheree,
Yes.
all of them said, you do lie, you do. Even Big Earring.
Yes, Marlo.
Marla, when they all said it,
Yes.
I
The whole
I was
cast was,
flabbergasted.
yeah, they
I
were
couldn't
just like,
believe
yeah,
that she was a liar.
yeah, they just thought, they was like, that's normal. Drew
So there's
lies.
so much going on behind the scenes that we don't know about.
Yeah. And so, this brings the drama down between Candy and Drew because
This is the part I've been waiting for.
Drew says that it was an upscale production. She enjoyed it.
She said the food was good.
Yeah.
In other words, I got paid a very little bit.
Yep.
I'll never do it again because, in other words, I'm too good for this. But
Yes.
I did it, because I wanted it and I wanted to help, and so I did it.
Yes.
Let me just say this before we go any further.
And Candy says that she paid Drew more than $10,000.
What was it, 15? They didn't say.
No.
So my point, it couldn't have been no more than 20. I'm giving it anywhere between 15 and 25,000. Okay. That's what I'm going to believe. But I'm going to say this, and this is what I have noticed from looking at the show. Candy can come off a little frugal. Okay?
That's true.
And they're going to always try to get the best out of everything they do. If they could get a show and they could get 500 people crammed in the show and there ain't no chairs, there ain't nothing but walls, and they promise you all of this,
yes,
and you go,
production.
That's what you'll get. You got, So I understand. Or you think it's going to be in this really, really glamorous place, and you get there and it's no parking, or it's just crazy. But I'm not taking nothing away from Candy. I'm not. I'm just saying that's just where she is.
Yeah.
And and
you just feel as though she shouldn't have hired Drew because
I was against it. I said don't do it. And for whatever reason, and maybe I have a wrong attitude about it, Drew come off so ungrateful.
Oh, yes, she really does.
To me. But she came off ungrateful before she even did the role. And I always felt that, this was bad move.
It
This
really
was bad. Never eat where you work. No,
Yes.
Never sleep. Yes, because they slept.
Oh.
Never sleep where you work.
That is true. And according to Drew, the whole reason why Candy is promoting that LaToya and Drew kiss is to promote the past. And Candy's like, this has been happening before the movie was even thought of. Mm-hmm. So I don't know where you coming up with this narrative that I'm coming up with this lie about you kissing LaToya just to promote my movie.
But this, stepping back again, is that Candy says something I thought that was so profound. She says, I now am going to believe your husband. Oh. What did she say? I know you wrote it.
No, I did not write it.
Okay.
I should have wrote it down, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Because it was... I know
it was a really important time. I know. But anyway, so... Anyway, she believes him because she knows Drew lied.
Yeah.
And
she could finally see the dynamics in their family, not their family, but their relationship. And she's starting to see things differently.
Seeing things differently. But I feel as though that was so awful. And for Drew to get up there and talk about, it was quick, it was 10, the food was good, the working conditions was good.
And then
I got
you're not going to do
good,
it again.
But just pretty much to me, low budget. It was good. It was fast. It was quick. It was boom, 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 10 days. It was hell.
That's true.
But I enjoyed it, but it's low budget, and I won't ever do that again. Not that I hate it, but I think she said, I'm above this now. I'm not going to do it even for the money, because we even know Monique did it for Precious. She got $50,000. She didn't, 50,000. She got 50,000 for it. Sometimes you just do it as a favor or a friend, or like Drew, it was a thing to put to her resume. It was a good thing. So this is a good thing. But she says she's not going to do it again because she really feels so she's above it.
Yes, she really does.
She said, that's beneath me.
Yes, she did.
She didn't say it in those words, but say, excuse me.
Now, the phrase, this is so funnily enough, what I do have quoted was the fact that after their whole tit for tat between Drew and Candy, and Andy tried to move on the conversation by asking about Drew's album, Drew had to ask Candy. She was like, before we move on, I just want to know, are we good? Because she was just like, I just want to know, because you're calling me a liar, and I just want to know that we fixed and Matt and
No.
like what's or beef.
No, y'all
and everybody
not good.
looked like, what?
You're not good. Y'all haven't been good. When you did the movie, you wasn't good. Candy didn't even want you to do it.
No.
She even told Todd
Yes.
not to do this. But I wouldn't have done it. But that's how you learn, though. That's how you learn, you know.
And then, of course, Marlo goes and teases Drew about kissing a girl and denying the fact that she liked
No,
it.
Marlo says she's only 80%.
Yeah, she's only 80% sure because Drew's starting to convince her.
But
for
then her
lying.
husband comes on, and her husband says that he says there's a lot of words on the street about my wife.
Yes, how? What am I supposed
And
to
then
believe?
she's going to say, you going to getting BJs from all over the world.
This is what happens when people get in your relationship.
And he says that he won his wife. And when Marlo, to me,
Yeah.
I think Marlo had like a little this. I think Marlo did this.
She did.
Not to hurt her, just to say, when she said, yeah, and what's her husband's name? Ralph. Oh, yeah, Ralph called me. And he told me blah, 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 blah. And Drew was like,
Yeah.
she was just jealous.
She was.
Jealous.
You could see it. She was
like,
yeah, she was like, yeah, Ralph checked on me.
and Ralph called you. Yeah, he called.
Yeah, he didn't tell you?
He didn't tell you? Oh. And Candy was like, I love it. And they was just all like, yeah, that was a dig. That was a dig. And, of course, my favorite person that's famous for it, Cherie goes around and dig it more and go, yes. Really, you're egging her on. So I thought that was good.
That was very
but remember, that was one seat against the other, so that was balanced out good.
Yes.
So I really liked it. I did. I liked it. It wasn't really too much going on.
No.
However, you want to do the end? Or is there something else?
Yes.
You want to talk about when Jude threw the plum?
And
Marlo got indignant? Marlo said, don't let that... I think if that thing would have burst on Marlo's gown,
yeah, I didn't understand.
I think Marlo would have been livid.
Yeah, I don't understand why the plum was used, but
Because
Andy
she
ate it.
likes using plots. One time she threw a bone. That's just what she does.
Got you. Was that directed towards Courtney?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, speaking of Courtney, I'm kind of confused because we were told that, at least the way I heard it, was that Drew and Courtney were cousins. And now we're finding out that Courtney didn't know she was related to Ralph by being his half cousin. So I'm like,
Right.
did Drew marry her cousin? Or half cousin? Because I'm like, if you're all cousins.
She related to the male,
Oh, okay.
from what I understand, to whatever. It's a distant relative. I don't know. It's
It's a bit
something like
weird.
that. But it's related to him, not Drew. I understand. But because they married, they cousins.
Gotcha,
If that makes
gotcha.
it.
Yes.
If that's the way I understand it. But if I got it wrong, you all tell me, okay?
Yeah, whatever it is. Apparently, Drew believes that Ralph was coaching Courtney to say stuff about Allison. And
I
stuff.
don't think that Courtney should have brought up anything that deal with their son. I don't think that's right.
Yeah, so,
Children's off limits. You
Yeah,
know?
this reunion, I'm not sure what's with the Housewives. Not Housewives. I'm just not sure what's with reality TV stars in general this season. But they just seem to be really taking like jabs at each other whether it's the reunion or the TV series.
They trying to go for deadly blows.
Yeah,
The deadly catch.
Yeah, it's getting a little concerning because the children that were now off table is no longer being off table, and it just seems okay to be in everybody's marriage and relationship and tear it apart, and also put your 2 cents, or as Mama Crone likes to say, put my 20 cents in, $20 in.
There you go.
Yes. And and you see relationships crumble because society, castmates are all getting in people's relationships. And then that drives the show ratings higher because there's more chaos. And then people get fired because somebody takes it a step too far and the public demands a reparation. So that's how I'm feeling. It's a roller coaster that nobody can satisfy.
Absolutely. You finished
Yes,
venting?
I'm done. Yes, I'm finished venting.
All right, go ahead. She had to go ahead, baby Crone. Baby Coach, I had something on my chest.
Yes.
Go ahead, feel better?
I do.
That was that gas.
Yes, it
It
was.
had to come out.
It did.
Well, what I'm finding the most interesting about it now is the dynamics between Drew and Ralph. Ralph was on the show.
Yes.
And Drew is calling Ralph pretty much a liar and saying, you're fronting, this ain't real.
Yeah.
When we home, I don't take this crap at home, and I'm not taking it here. I begin to see something in this relationship that I'm thinking I'm getting an idea of what's going on.
Oh.
I see them as, when they came on the scene, be it as it may, when they came on the scene, they came on as a religious couple. I think that her mother is a minister. And what I see that Ralph wants a submissive wife.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And apparently, maybe she was submissive at one point or something. Something when she got on the show, as always, you get around other people and then there is a change. They was always having problems. I don't know why you would come on the show. Maybe because they needed the money, or maybe Drew needed exposure. There was a myriad of reasons why. But what I see here is now Drew's been faking.
Yeah.
A couple of things, in my opinion. Drew is faking about her sexual preferences.
Yes.
I think that Drew lied.
Yes.
According to her
Castmates.
her castmates, and they all saying it, so it can't be a lie, right?
Yes, we see her blatantly lie about the whole LaToya situation.
So it just seems to me that he wants her, but he wants to be the man, and he wants to do what he want to do. You know how it is. And I'm just finding that the thrill is gone. When the mother was in the house a lot, it wasn't all of this like this. Now it just seemed not right. And now when you got the sister there, you know, in my mind, she's a ticky ticky boom boom.
Yes.
You know, as Wendy Williams would say, because it seems that she'll go off if you say anything that don't feel right to her.
And she has.
I've seen her do it. And so it seems like she's always ready to go off at Ralph. It seems like she's getting ready to go off again. And she's very aggressive.
Yes.
And Drew is very angry. And to me, Drew does not seem like a nice person. I never gravitated to her. It's something about her that she's very problematic, if you ask me. She's very argumentative, and maybe because of where her marriage been, where her life been, I don't know, but Drew comes off to be very angry.
Yes, it's
and
clear.
She really, and she's been angry so long that she doesn't even know she's angry. And to prove it, who hasn't she gotten into an argument with on her castmate?
Yes, especially during this reunion. She got into it with like at least 3 of them.
She's angry. And she can't see. She's in blind fury. And she loves her husband, but she resents him all at the same time. This is a spiritual thing with them. She doesn't want to be what he wants her. She doesn't want to be the submissive housewife.
Yes.
And for that reason, and she doesn't want to live under Ralph's tyranny either. So where do you go from here? Because in one part of her, she's bound by the word of God to work it out. If your husband say, I'm willing to work it, you're supposed to be obedient. You see, but instead of her dealing with this, she walks off the show. Because she said she doesn't deal with it at home, she's not dealing with it here.
Right.
So I'm wondering, how do you get things resolved?
Yes, she's
If
trying
you
to have
storm
her.
off, you have a hissy fit, you cry.
Yes, fake
you-
empowerment. She's like, I'm standing and defending for myself.
But to me, that's being passive aggressive. And if that's what she's doing at home, then you're just as guilty for your husband being out there as much as he's guilty for you being out there.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
two lack communication and trust.
Oh, yes, most definitely.
And because of that, you don't forgive. And this is the problem. You see, unforgiveness is eating at the fiber of this relationship.
Yes, it is.
Unforgiveness of lack of trust. But there is love there, but it's so murky. It's been in the minds. And you know my saying, when you play in the minds, what happens, baby?
You get spotted.
You get spotted. So with that being said, did we cover everything?
The last thing I wanted to mention in passing is that Kenya, because her divorce is now taking a little bit longer due to Marlo now has a subpoena to come to court to defend her side of the story and say that
Who are we talking about?
Marlo and Kenya in Brooklyn, because during the hotel scene when we saw on the show, when Marlo was kicking on the door at the hotel room, and Kenya had Brooklyn at the time, and Kenya's ex-husband is using that against Kenya, saying that she had Brooklyn in harm's way. So now Marlo has a court order, like a subpoena, to come and talk and say what happened, so that way Kenya doesn't have to go to court or like go to jail.
That's not Kenya's fault.
No, it's not Kenya's fault. That's why she was like, Marlo, I need you to come to court and say that my child was not in defense or any
Is
trouble.
Marlo going to do it?
Yeah, a subpoena, I believe you.
Oh, she did have a subpoena.
She's
where
like,
was I with this? I must have drifted off to sleep.
It was at the very beginning before all the drama happened.
I must have was foo-fooing around, getting myself all nestled in. So did we cover everything?
Yeah, we covered everything.
Well, that's a good thing. I would like to know. I don't know if Kenya will be back. I don't know who will be back. I don't even know if this show will be back. Time would tell.
Yes.
But I have to say, this was not one of the great shows, but I think the reunion is making up
Yes,
for
the
it.
reunion kind of saved the season.
And I think Drew is doing it. I think this thing with Drew and this homosexuality, maybe that's not it. I don't know.
I mean, Drew
and
doesn't
her
want to-
experiencing or experimenting. But when I see Drew's face, Drew has played in the cookie jar. It's all in her face. And I think that's why she's been so angry and saying it's not true. Maybe she didn't, but she's been dealing with those inhibitions on the inside. Drew has been being called. And I guess the call is being so loud, people are picking up on it. And now that she actually gave in, she couldn't help it. And now she's embarrassed because of her religious belief.
That's what's going on with Drew.
That's what's going on with Drew.
Up top. Yeah,
that's what's going on with Drew. It's a very religious thing. And because I come from that, I understand it very well. And she doesn't want that out there. She doesn't want that sty. She's probably like the preacher's daughter. She's got she got status. She don't want that light following her. However, she knows she's caught in the cookie jar. She has no choice, and so she will deal with it. But Drew really, really needs counseling. Drew is very, very angry, and I think that this marriage that she's in between them, the tug of war between the fighting with them, is so brutal and so intoxicating that it's heavy.
Yeah,
they feel like they live in a log cabin.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like we're gonna get anywhere at this reunion between the two.
I hope, but I know that her husband comes off one way, but I know he's another. Why? Because he did go away and he did not show up, and because of that, that takes nerve to do that. So
you want to do a tarot reading on them one day?
Yes, I definitely will. I will do one on them. As a matter of fact, I will do one on them maybe the next time we do one. Or I will just do one in the middle of the week.
Okay.
I'll do one on them in the middle. I'll do one for them tomorrow.
Okay.
Or whenever you have time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, yes, I'll do one on Drew marriage. So please look out for it.
Time to read on them.
And yeah, it's about time. Yeah, they are going through. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this recap of Atlanta.
Yes, Real Housewives of Atlanta season 15 reunion part 1 with the mermaids and the drama.
It was very interesting.
Yes.
It wasn't like last week, but that's okay. It's getting there. It's getting there. So I really enjoyed it. Please stay tuned. Give us our thumbs up. Give us thumbs up. Subscribe. Make your comments. Please, we really, really need your votes. Right? Not votes. We really need your
subscriptions.
Your subscriptions, your views, your comments. You are really helping us to reach our goal. We are almost at 1,000 and we need your help. So please support us as we grow our station.
Yes.
And we need wonderful people like you. So with that, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Wonderful. I'm all off with this Memorial Day.
Labor Day.
Labor Day. I am so off with this Labor Day. So with that being said, I hope you had a wonderful Labor Day. Until we meet again next Sunday or late Monday, whatever. Forgive me. I'm so off tonight. So please forgive me. But with that being said, have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. Sunflowers.